Hello. 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 Welcome. Welcome, everybody, on this rainy Friday night in Clark County, Indiana. Hello, Yoakum. I know it's Foot Friday. No, I ain't got my socks on. And it is flooding here. Well, the water. Excuse me. The water went down. I was gonna do a video. Nah, I said nah. And they got a flood watch on. The time is 10:04 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I just don't like it. I don't like what it's doing. Maybe I got 8 inches of rain. If it was more, water would come out of my septic tank lid. But to let you know, I do not live in a floodplain. This is about the second time it has done this since I lived here. I think the second, yeah, it's the second time. And it makes me mad, people. There's nothing I can do since the state of Indiana built that creek, caused my flooding. When they put I-65 in back in the 60s or 70s, somewhere back in those days, I don't know. But this part of I-65, I think, was put in the late 60s or early 70s. And I've told you, I talked to people that used to live here or live that had this property, said it never did flood it until the state of Indiana put I-65, put a creek in it. So if that tells you anything. So welcome everybody to Friday night, or you could say Foot Friday, a Friday night live. And, it's bad. I know Joanne ain't in here. I've been watching, I don't know, this thing on TV. I I think they look like a bunch of hillbillies down there in North Carolina. They got. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just watching it on TV. This big cat. I mean, a big. I mean, it's big as a grizzly bear. And I got these on to hold these in. I should be off of Wi-Fi on this computer probably Monday. That's when that piece from Amazon is supposed to be here. And I want to thank you all that has donated to the post office box, PayPal, and the Cash App. Thank you all very much. Can't do anything with you. When you send like PayPal or Cash App, you usually put a little note in it. Buy your kitty cat something. That's what I've done. I spend it on my kitty cats. Buy some food, some canned food, and stuff like that for them. And that's part of it, people. If I had, say, if I had at least 50,000, 100,000, I could do what I wanted to do. 100,000. Hello, Joanne. Boy, you got some mean people down there in your state. What's that? What's that county down there? I don't know. I was watching these idiots, I call them, that went out somewhere in North Carolina. This big kitty cat. It's like the size of a grizzly bear. She, North Carolina, he something. And I know these guys on the chubby side, they go around looking for Bigfoot. They've been down to Cherokee County and stuff like that. They tried to catch this big cat. I forget the name of that cat. They call that cat down there, and sometimes I sound like a hillbilly. I got my Pepsi Zero in the cup. But it's funny watching them try to get Bigfoot, and another one they call her Harry Devil or something. I don't know, but it's just weird. What else am I going to do? It's been raining off and on. If you all saw the video I uploaded, I said this morning or this afternoon. I showed you my west yard, my backyard. I guarantee you, back when I was younger, there was this hillbilly girl. She was from Kentucky or Tennessee. I kind of liked her. She said, "Yeah, I'm a hillbilly. I'm proud of it." Her name was Evelyn or something like it started with an E, but I think she's dead now. I don't think she ever got married. I don't think. But she was a real nice lady. She was younger than me, I think. So, like I said, I'm choosy, people, on ladies. No smoking, no drugs, no alcohol, and kind of on the skinny side, not a beanpole skinny. small on the top. No watermelons or cantaloupes, maybe golf balls or hardball or softball, because they got watermelons or cantaloupe. They always complain about their back problems. And how do I know that? I had a few wives that had watermelons or cantaloupe, and that's all they did is complain about their back hurting because they was top heavy. You know, you ladies go through a lot. And I was dating this one girl that had like maybe size of a tennis ball. That was okay, but she wasn't happy. And to make her feel better, I said, honey, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. You're just perfect to me. Maybe somebody else you wouldn't be perfect, but what you got, you beautiful. And she was 55. I say now she probably maybe 60s, I would think. She would shoot me probably. But man, this show was weird. But yesterday and today, you all remember that TV show? I think they call it Deputy. And this deputy came the sheriff. The sheriff died, and he was the oldest or been on the sheriff's department longer than any other deputies. And I think his wife was maybe a Mexican, something like that. I watched the last show they done. That makes me mad. I love that show of the deputy. That was a great show. And I love it. I was waiting for season 2 to come on. The second year, it didn't come on, people. Before you all get mad at me, behind me is a rebel flag. If you look at it, it has a M16 on it. If I move my head, it shows, come and take it. That's what it says, come and take it. That's the reason I bought this flag, because of M16, and they said, come and take it. It hasn't lightened for about the past hour and a half. But I guess that snapping turtle, with this much rain, I guess he went floating down the creek, I guess. I don't know. But you all saw where the water was up in my backyard, my side yard, on the, let's see, that side would be the east side where the creek is. Yeah. It was, I wish I had a fishing pole. Maybe I could go out there and catch me a fish. Ha ha ha. So funny. But, that's too much rain. It went down. When I went out to feed the cats, I looked around 6 o'clock, and the water had went down into the creek. I mean, it really went down. I bet it went down, I guess, 2 feet, something like that. I wasn't going to get a tape measure and go out there and measure it. I ain't that stupid. Because you see that water, it was strong, and it'd be like a idiot to get in that, and it took me right down with that much force. Okay, I don't think it made the national news. This morning in Kentucky, I forget what part of Kentucky, this young kid, maybe 6 or 7, was walking to the bus stop. I guess he got in the water and it swept him away. And they found him about 8 or 8:30 this morning. You know, he's down up there with his angel wings. But if it's not on the national news, you can go to either WLKY News in Louisville, Kentucky, or WDRB News in Louisville, Kentucky, or WHAS Channel 11 News, and you see the report of it. That is sad. I guarantee you, if I had a boat, I could go out there and really have some fun. I also showed you in the video of my neighbor's yard. He lives in a trailer. His dad lives next door in a log cabin. But you can buy lumber that looks like logs, and they had that on the house, and it looks beautiful. And I might take a picture of it and download it to my computer and have that in the background, me standing in front. You know, you see the log cabin in the back. I forget how to do that on StreamYard, but I hope everybody have a good Friday night. Be careful out there because all this rain in the United States who got the rain and the tornadoes we had, what was it, yesterday or the day before? I want you all to say prayers to those people who lost their houses. I don't think anybody died. I don't think. Maybe they did, and I just forgot. I don't know. But it's weird. And I told you some of the videos that I watch, like What the Hell's, Megan Fox Rider, The Umbrella Guy, and yesterday, BBB, he's an idiot lawyer from, I think, Connecticut. He's supposed to have been in court yesterday, but he's not licensed to practice law in Florida. I forget the legal term they call it. And last night, Megan Fox, the Umbrella Guy, what the hell's they was on there, and the DUI guy out of Louisville, Kentucky, because the DUI guy and his girlfriend, Chancellor, was down there in Florida at the court. He gave his view of it. There's other people there. But BBB, the stupid lawyer, he's going to get some sanctions. It could be up to $50,000 failure to show up to court. I got to watch What the Hell Sunday when they come live, him and George, his girlfriend. It, you know, I know some of you people don't like Jeremy and George, but they was talk, Turtle Lady she's a crazy lady. And in one of my videos, I had her stepdaughter showed one of her videos, and she talked about her stepmom, how she got abused when she was little. Turtle Lady adopted a baby. Kind of illegal. And she falsified reports, this and that, didn't answer the right questions. And she tried to get What the Hells to get her on his YouTube channel, stuff like that. Hey, that's pretty good, Joanne. I probably would float, but like I say, if you saw that water, it was really rushing in the creek through my yard and up on the right side of my house. It looked like some of it was muddy water, but the rest of the water was clear. I'll look at it probably tomorrow and see what kind of water damage there is. Probably have to put my boots on because it's going to be wet out there. My son been washing clothes. I said, why are you washing clothes? I said, you're going to have that water back up in the bathtub because we live in the country. We don't have sewer lines. We got a septic tank and ladder line. If you look at your bedroom window, you see it's flooded back there. And you can't flush the toilet. You can't take a bath. You can't wash clothes. But I'm trying to teach them about country life. That's what I'm here to try to help you people out. That's what I want to do is help you all out, to teach you. Some of you live in the country, you know better than me. I've been a city boy 65 years. And coming to the country, you got to learn some things. Septic tanks, the animals that you got in the country. I guarantee you, since I moved out in the country, people, it's nice and quiet. You don't have those cookie cutter homes 6 feet from your window. It's nice. It's quiet. It's dark. You can go walking up on the main road up there. But one thing, there's no grocery store or fast food restaurants that you can walk to. It's about 3.2 miles to the dollar store. I couldn't walk that far. If I walk a mile, I'll probably be dead on my feet. I couldn't do that. Not the way my medical conditions is and everything like that. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And my new play toy, thanks to 709, USB to Ethernet, the way you're going to hook that Cat 6 or Cat 9 into it. From there, run it over to the router over on top of the ice box instead of using the Wi-Fi part of it. So that comes in handy, people. I have more stuff. I probably wouldn't have internet problems. Well, I still have internet problems because of Spectrum or Charter. There's another one. They've got 3 different companies. That's the only internet there is, unless you use the phone internet or Frontier or a Dish or Starlink. I won't mind having Starlink, but the monthly bill, my son looked it up, it was about $200 a month for Starlink. Plus, you had to pay up front for your dish and everything you need to hook it up to the internet. And just don't have that money. I probably would have better internet service if I could have Starlink, but I just don't have the money, people. And and I've been listening to people on other YouTube channels, you know, about computers. Plus, like I'm streaming, your people streaming. They said it's best to get what they call a gaming computer. That's my next step. But it's not going to be a laptop. It's going to be a desktop. Which then you have to buy the keyboard. Then you have to buy the camera and all that because you got more RAM. You got a bigger hard drive and a good graphics card. You know, but if you upload videos for YouTube, it would be bad. You know, you could upload videos from your cell phone and stuff like that. But I don't think I'm going to be on here too long tonight. Maybe an hour. It depends on how many people gets on here because I want to make sure you all get a good show. I want to thank you all for the comments on the flood I had today. I still feel like I've been ran over by a Mack truck since the other day out there picking tree limbs up, cleaning the house up. For somebody with my medical problem, it hurts. I have to take a break for a couple of days to a week before I could do any more. And you know, maybe I should get girlfriend, a younger one that can help out, help me do some of the housework, the yard work, you know. One thing the lady has to have, she got to have a green thumb because I love flowers. I love flowers. I think this summer I might get me some rose bushes and plant out there because I love rose bushes. I fed my kitty cat some hot dogs. I usually get 4 and I start cutting that real small, like beanie weenies that you get in your beans. I feed them cats. They had a can of wet cat food. But, they're happy. And John Wayne, my inside tomcat, he'd just get like a spoonful and I put it in his pan. The female cats, I don't give them that wet cat food. You know, they don't even get milk because it gives them diarrhea. Their body's not used to it. But when I watch the news of this 6 or 7 year old boy in Kentucky getting in the water, and I got him into the creek, I'm kind of mad, people. He walks that, this young child walks it every day to the bus stop. Here's what I'm mad about. His mother and dad knew of the rain. They knew about the flood. They should have walked him to the bus stop. In my opinion, is that child neglect? In my opinion, it is child neglect. If they would have walked him to the bus stop this morning, he might still be alive. You know how 6 or 7 year old kids do. They want to play in the water. Maybe that's what he did. I don't know. I'm expecting the Kentucky police, also known as 5-0, I expect them to do something. Maybe. I don't know. But I forget what part of Kentucky. Squirrel soap. Let me see. Yeah. Maybe I do need a good hillbilly woman. As my sister told me before she passed away, I think a year after my mom did, she said, I need to get me a good Mexican woman. I agree with you there. But she said, you don't want to get you a Mexican woman that's been in the United States. You need to go to Mexico and get your Mexican lady from Mexico. And I asked her why. Well, because the Mexican women in the United States done got educated. And they get educated well fast. But, also, I want a future girlfriend to be honest with me. no lies. You know, I don't care if you've been arrested. Just tell me what kind of charge it is. If it's drugs or drunk driving, I like to know that. I'm not going to judge the girl for it because everybody deserves a second chance. So I know some of you people sent me emails, that way nobody in the chat would know. Is would you take any of your ex-wives back? Well, I might take one back like that. I might do that because she was a beautiful lady when we got married. She was a good cook. I miss her cooking. When we was married and we was living in my grandma's house, we had wallpaper and it had nice, beautiful flowers on it. You had to use this super paste that you put wallpaper. It had to be heavy duty. And our kitchen was all in wallpaper. This wallpaper, because you know how little kids they like to take their crayons and mark on it. That's the reason I got that wallpaper. It was real cheap back there in the late 70s and 80s. I think we got married 78, 79, somewhere back there then. It was a beautiful wedding, but she is a sweet lady. You know, would I take her back? First we would have to talk about it, set the rules up. Since that been over 30 years since, she left, something like that, we would have to talk. And we live on a budget. I believe she likes kitty cats. She did when we was married. But that many kitty cats that I got in the bedroom is kind of different. You know, but will I come live tomorrow, which is Saturday? I don't know. I don't have the slightest idea. Somewhere around lunchtime, I got to give time for my son to wake up because I want to go to Walmart, get some salad and some bananas, maybe another 24 pack of Pepsi Zero. I got to take the two 24 packs out of the car and bring it in tomorrow. I got to do that. I got to do that. So what am I going to do tonight when I get off of here? Probably go back and watch some more TV. You know, that's all I do, either on YouTube, watch YouTube channels, watch YouTube channels with HOAs in it. I don't think I could live in the HOA place. And I'll be kind of, I would shoot some of them HOA people if they done like some of those YouTube channels. And I wonder how they came up with the stories. They write they write the stories like a producer or editor, and then they have backgrounds in there. And they tell a story. Could I do something like that? I I'm not that smart to do anything like that. I think you have to have like DaVinci or something like an edit software where you can put the pictures in the background and close caption and stuff like that. I'm not that smart. I'm still trying to figure out DaVinci. That's the edit software that I got on this computer. I think I will download the videos that I got on my cell phone to my computer. And like today's flood, maybe me being a rowboat or something. You know, I'm not that smart, people. I'm not that smart. But I'm trying to give you all good content. You know, like I won't be on here Monday. That's a fact because I watch Hudson and Rex. Its show takes part in Canada. Hudson is a uh, police officer, a detective, and Rex is a canine dog. I guarantee I know Rex is dead, but his real name was Diesel. And he had three brothers, I think. And I love that show. I think it comes on my time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, maybe go off maybe 12 or 1 a.m. in the morning. But I like watching that show. It relaxes me. So, hello, 709. Yeah, it's on Mondays where I'm at in Indiana. I forget what TV station on. That maybe WBKI or something. I love watching that. I know Diesel died a couple of months ago of cancer. See, people, we're not the only ones get cancer. The kids, animals get cancer. But I say Diesel had a good funeral. And, you know, animals is like kids. You know, my kitty cats is like my kids. They give me unconditional love. But only got one cat. It's like Mama Tina. Mama Tina was a full blown Siamese kitty cat, full blooded Siamese kitty cat. She was a good mama. And when she wants to get underneath the blanket, Mama Tina would tap my arm and I raise the blanket up and she'd get underneath the blanket and sleep all night. And you saw me show you that blue blanket. That was Sock's baby blanket because he was born underneath that blue blanket, just like the rest of the kitty cats that Mama Tina had. When I lived at the other Ponderosa there in Charlestown, Kelly was a calico cat. She had her babies in the bathroom underneath the sink, went in there, got in a cabinet drawer, and had a baby. When Mama Kelly came out to use the bathroom and get something to eat, Mama Tina would go in there and take care of her babies while she was using the bathroom or eating. And when Mama Kelly would come back, she'd look in there and see Tina in there. Then she'd look at me like, Daddy, can you get Mama Tina out? And I said, Mama Kelly's back. Come on out. She come back out. Mama Tina was like they was her babies too. She gave them a bath. She fed them. That's what I like about them. My first Siamese kitty cat I ever had. But growing up, I didn't like Siamese kitty cat. They was mean. I had cats when I was young, and I had dogs that grew up with cats. If another dog showed up in the neighborhood, get close to them cats, a dog would chase it away, just like raccoons. Well, 709, if you watch the video that I uploaded today about the flood, I said the flood. And it was bad. And on the east side there, you can see where the water is up and rushing through my yard and in the creek. I was, well, I don't know how to describe these people. I'm watching it on TV. They look for Bigfoot, things like that. And I was watching that one thing on their show. It's a big kitty cat, not the cats you got in Canada. These cats was as big as a grizzly bear. I mean, it was huge. Probably a big cat from back when they had dinosaurs, I would say. They was trying to catch it. I don't know, was it Cherokee cat? I forget what they call that cat. They had like an M16 with a scope on it that had infrared where they could see in the dark. It was killing cattle and stuff like that, but I don't know if it's on YouTube. I guess it's called Monster Hunters or something like that. They went to Cherokee County there in North Carolina on the, you know, everybody got stories about stuff like. Well, it didn't look like a lynx. I mean, it looked like a grizzly bear from what they showed on TV. I hope I don't either. I know I got bobcats where I live. I haven't seen a bobcat. I've seen some foxes, some coyotes, possums, raccoons. I hate the raccoons because they kill my chickens. They kill my laying hens. They kill my rooster. I love Harry. He was a great rooster. And if you all people that lives out in the country and got roosters, you know, about 5 o'clock in the morning, they go, you know, about 5 o'clock in the morning. And like every time me and my son was to leave in the car, Harry would crow. Like, bye, Daddy. We see you when you get back. We come back, he would crow. Like, welcome home, Daddy. I would say, but I even had a kitty cat named Rooster. Because he was raised by Rooster. Before I had my chickens, Harry and 3 other roosters out there on the main road. I bought feed for them to eat. And one day they wasn't there waiting on me. And I saw them. And I went over there, you know. I said, come on, Harry, Henry, and Henrietta before I found out it was a rooster. I don't know nothing about roosters and chickens, how to tell them apart because I'm a city boy. Maybe I do need a good hillbilly woman that knows her animals. And I said, you gonna come over and get your food? All once them roosters look up in the tree, they started crowing. Then all once I heard meow, meow, a baby meow. I said, come here, baby, come here, baby. It came down the tree, you know, walking backwards. And then roosters went up there to check on that baby kitty cat. I don't know how they fed that baby kitty cat. I don't have the slightest idea if they feed them bugs or caught it some mice. I just don't know. And so I picked up that baby, decided to name him Rooster after the rooster. Boy, I think that was a mistake. You know, them roosters knew I wouldn't hurt the baby, but I still picked the baby up, petting her, said, I love you, good boy, and this and that. They followed me over to where the tree was, another tree where I put the chicken feed down for them. And they watched me cross the main road up here, and they knew he was okay. When I got those chickens and built a, you know, I'm not too good on building things. You saw that chicken coop I built, but I know better next time. But I just don't have the money to build me a better chicken coop. But I did take Rooster out there to meet his foster dad, Harry. Harry kind of got up close to him, and Rooster the cat didn't know because he knew that was his adopted daddy. You know, I never thought of doing YouTube back in those days, but I do miss Harry, especially 5 o'clock in the morning. That was my 5 a.m. wake up call. Or if I take a trip somewhere, he would tell me bye in rooster talk. But he was a good rooster. He fought that raccoon. But the raccoon, he was huge. I mean, he was big. But he got killed. He got shot with a pistol, I think a 308, something like that. And picked him, put him in the wheelbarrow and rode him back there to the back 40s up by the pond, dumped him out, and I figured it'd be a couple of days before the buzzard gets to him. They was there early in the next morning, and they cleaned him up. The only thing that was left was bones. I guess I'm going to have to set traps for the raccoons because I don't, these country raccoons, they're not friendly like the city raccoons. They come up, get on your lap or on your shoulder. They sit on the back feet like a dog, begging for food. These idiots out here, you just tap on the window, bam, or you open the door, they take off. Country raccoons is different. I know the raccoon whisperer. He lives in Canada, and I bet he got 20 or 30 raccoons there. He feed them ever since he was baby. Mama and daddy, then came grandpa and grandma, great grandkids and great great grandkids. I love watching him. He feeds them hot dogs, cookies, I guess maybe cat food or maybe dog food. I don't know. And he respects them. And during the winter time, since they got snow up there, he feeds the deer. I guess he feeds them apples, I think, fruit. Just type in raccoon whispers into YouTube. And I think his name is James Blackwood, Blackburn, Black something. You'll love watching him and his wife. And he has 2 kitty cats in the house, a black and white one, and I forget what the names are, and I forget the color of the other ones. Some of them chickens and rooster, if you raise them from the time they're a baby, they get a little protective. Just like dogs and cats, they get protective. If you get a new boyfriend or a girlfriend, they get jealous, just like dogs and cats does. I've seen this one person, I forget what YouTube channel, they got him in the house. He's kind of like a watchdog. He protects the family. I think the rooster or the hen sleeps with their kids, just like cats and dogs. But I love animals, you know. I get me some more roosters sometime. First thing I need is get me a good, nice pickup truck where I can haul the 2x4s, the plywood, stuff like that, make the chicken coop a little bit better, and put some boxes on it with straw in it where they can lay their eggs in it, where you can have fresh eggs. Because people, you raise your own chicken and have fresh eggs, they're better than what you get in the grocery store because you know what you feed your chickens. Now, like in the summertime, people, them chickens loves watermelon, cantaloupe, apples. They love fruit in the summertime. You can even throw them a tomato in it. They eat tomatoes. The eggs you get in the grocery store, sorry, grocery store, you don't know what those people feeds those chickens. They feed them, you got chicken feed that got medicine in it. I think penicillin and stuff like that. You can look it up. And some people's allergic to penicillin. I'm just letting you all know about it. You can research it if you don't believe me. But that's how come they can't. They can be mean, like Harry. He was mean at first when him and his brothers, I fed him, but then he started coming down here, walk around the cage, looking at those ladies, those 5 lady hens I had. And finally he got close enough where I opened the chicken coop door and had my walking stick, took my stick and pointed him towards to go inside. He was a happy rooster. He had 5 girlfriends that he has to take care of. And he was great. He's a great protector. He tried to protect those hens from the raccoon. He was a great rooster. So, people, I told you I'm going to cut it short. It didn't seem like I've been on here an hour. So, I want to thank you all my moderators. Yeah, there's not any close to me, but we do have alpacas in Clark County, Indiana, and probably Floyd County, Scott County, Indiana, up the road. I don't know Scott County. I haven't seen any in Scott County, but I know Clark County has alpaca. I think they're pretty sweet animals, but my property ain't fenced in. If my yard was fenced in, I probably would have alpacas and maybe a few goats, you know. But my yard's not fenced in. One day it will be. Either when I hit the lotto or them alpacas, I think they get a haircut, I guess once a year, just like sheep does. I hear a choo-choo train. I hear the whistle blowing. I don't. I think it's going north. Yeah, that's what I like to do to these raccoons. If you can hear, yeah. But you all great people tonight, and I want to thank you all. Well, I know they make shirts, they make sweaters. I think they also sell alpaca blankets, I think. I can't remember for sure. But I kind of like them. You know, I'm a city boy. You know, if I had the money, I buy the west property, I buy the back 40, and I would have some farm animals. So, so I hope you all sleep real good. Kids stay in school, go to college, and kids look around where you live in the state you live in. And see what kind of jobs there is where people don't get laid off. I think they do spit on you, or is that camels that spits on you? So I want you all have a good day, and I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Give me the thumbs up. Since that computer hacker keeps giving me the thumbs down, he's a stalker or she's a stalker. I don't know why they spit on people. I guess because maybe they don't like you, maybe. I don't know. It's Thank you all for the smiley faces. Thank you all that has subscribed. I want to say hi to Sweden. You're a great person. I think this person lives in Stockholm, Sweden. So, hi, everybody. I love you all. You all have a great night. My back's is hurting me because I'm sitting up in the chair. It's not too comfortable for my back problems. I love you all. You all have a great day. Happy birthday to everybody born today. Happy anniversary if you got married today. And everybody, you have a great time. Will I be on here tomorrow? I don't know. Just have to wait and see. And I want you people, you can look it up on the internet, WLKY News, which is in Louisville, Kentucky, that this kid from Kentucky, I forget what place in Kentucky, he's walking to a bus stop and got swept away by water. So he died. They found him about 8:30 this morning dead. So I want you all to send prayers out to that family who lost a young kid because of the flood. Don't go through the flood waters because your car or something to get swept away. Don't be stupid, people. Be smart. Okay, thank you all very much for tonight. God loves you all. And also, let's send prayers to those children at St. Jude's Hospital who has cancer. If you know any ladies that has breast cancer, send prayers to them. I know there's men that got cancer. So let's send prayers out to everybody. So I love you all, and I'll catch you later. Tell your kids before they go to bed that you love them. Mommy and Daddy love you. Because anything can happen during the night. Or before you go to work, tell your kids you love them. Just do that. Your kids is important. Your family's important. I know a bunch of you watch my videos later. God bless you. My YouTube is different from anybody else's YouTube. Some of them got hate crimes. They cuss or fighting words. I'm not into that, but I do watch them. But I don't like hate crimes or race stuff. I don't like that stuff. You won't see it on my YouTube channel. So you all have a great Friday night or Saturday morning. It depends where you are on the planet. So I love you all. Thank you, my family. Thank you for being my family. I love you all. Peace. I love you all. I want to say good night. You all sweet dreams. God be with you all.